October 29th, 2022, race day. After 3 months of full commitment and years of dreaming about it, the moment had finally arrived. The Ironman 70.3 World Championship in St. George, Utah. And honestly, it still didn't feel real. That morning, I woke up at 4:45 am in a freezing rooftop tent in the middle of the Utah desert. Not exactly the luxury athlete lifestyle. I threw on my tri-suit, forced down my traditional Ironman breakfast and drove through the dark towards St. George. At 5:55 am, I stepped onto one of the buses bringing athletes to the start line. And that's when it started to hit me. Thousands of athletes, world champions, Olympians, people from all over the world. And somehow, I was one of them. As the sun slowly came up over the Utah landscape, the American national anthem played across the reservoir. It was one of those moments where everything goes quiet in your head for a second. At 7:30, the professional race started. I wasn't racing with the pros, I was starting almost last, which honestly made the build-up even more nerve-wracking. At 9:06 am, I ran into the water. 6 years earlier, I'd seen someone trained for an Ironman and thought, that's impossible. Now I was here, at a World Championship. The goal for today was simple: finish. I didn't care about a crazy fast time. I wanted that finisher medal. The swim went smoothly, no panic, no chaos, and 34 minutes later I came out of the water feeling good. Then it was time for the bike. And whoa, Utah is unreal. The course runs straight through these massive red rock landscapes that almost don't look real. I felt strong on the climbs early on, flying uphill and recovering on the descents. For a while everything clicked. But after around 60 kilometers, my legs started fighting back. And then came Snow Canyon. Beautiful, but brutal. The climb felt endless, but luckily, after that, it was mostly fast downhill riding back towards St. George. And then, the run. The final part. After nearly 3 hours on the bike, my legs were definitely not feeling fresh anymore. But at that point, you stop thinking about comfort. You just keep moving forward, step by step. The atmosphere was incredible, people everywhere, energy everywhere. And somewhere along that course all day was Jan's. For 3 months, she'd lived around my training schedule, my preparation and everything that came with this race. And now she spent the entire day driving around the course, waiting for hours just to see me pass by for a few seconds at a time. Every time I saw her out there, it gave me another boost to keep moving forward. The pace wasn't what I had hoped for, but honestly, I didn't care anymore. Because after an hour and 46 minutes of running, I crossed the finish line. 5 hours, 16 minutes and 34 seconds. Not the fast time I had imagined, but one of the most special moments of my life. I had finished the Ironman 70.3 World Championship. And after the race, we did what every exhausted athlete does. Eat absolutely everything in sight. We stayed in St. George for a while, took it all in and later drove back to the campground. That evening was simple: music, food and complete exhaustion. The next morning, reality slowly came back. My body was wrecked, but there was one more thing to do. Take apart the bike, pick it up and somehow get it back to the Netherlands. Because we weren't done, not even close. This race had been the reason we came to America. But now, the real adventure was about to begin. We still had 11 days with the Jeep. And after that, no plan, no job, no home, no idea what would happen next. And honestly, that was the most exciting part. In the next video, we start our road trip through Utah, before stepping into the complete unknown.